The first thing to get started, whether you're on the desktop or the web version of Outlook, is you need to go to the Bookings app, which you can find here on the side under the little apps icon here, and then you can go to Bookings there. Now, once this page is loaded, we're going to create a new booking page. So we're not going to use the personal one. We're going to create a new one. If you already have an existing one, you'll skip this step and just click on yours, and then you'll skip ahead to this video when I start modifying. So to get started with a blank one, we're going to click Create Booking Page. We're going to create one from scratch in this case. We're going to give it a name. So maybe name. Right. If you have a picture that you want to include of yourself or a logo or Bitmoji or something, you could add to that there. You could always do that later or change it as well. These are just default settings. These are not really going to matter to what we're doing, but if you want to modify it to fit your workday, that's fine. But when we do parent conferences, when we set that up for that, this is not really going to matter. So we'll click next. We're not inviting staff. It's just going to be yourself that the bookings is attached to. So we're just going to click next on this. Here, this is setting up a service. This is essentially what a conference block is going to be looking like. We're going to leave these defaulted for right now because I'm going to show you how to modify and change it. So that way it matches to what you're doing. So that way if you have an existing one, you can just modify that one. So I'm just going to click next here. And then we do want this accessible to our parents. So we're going to click anyone and then click create. It's going to take a moment for it to create. So we'll give it a moment. It's essentially up and going, but we need to modify it. So we're going to click get started here to get started modifying it. All right, so I'm in bookings right now. We're going to really work off this menu off to the left here. So calendar, this is where you can come and see just your bookings. But what's nice with Microsoft Bookings is it can tie into your Outlook calendar. So you'll be able to see the bookings on your Outlook calendar as well. But this will be the tab place you can go to just see on the bookings that are created. All right, so the first step is going to the booking page. So on this page here, we're just going to roll through. So that way, if you have an existing one, we can make those changes. Here, we do want to see that it's set for and available to anyone. So that way, all the parents can access it. This is going to be your share link that you can send out to parents to get to the booking page. So we'll be able to come back to that later. We're going to skip down. So some of these settings that we don't really need to mess with, we're going to come down. The first one is the default scheduling policy. So here, this is where we want to make sure things are set. So however long that you want to have your conferences, we're going to make sure all the time increments are always set for that. So for example, if you want 30-minute blocks, if not, you can choose 20-minute blocks from there. Minimum lead time, that's like the minimum time to book. So, it's like in a day in advance is the least amount of time. If you want to do it 12 hours in advance, you can do that. We're going to leave that max time alone. We're going to leave email notifications alone. What we're going to do is click off though staff control because we don't want parents to be able to do that. And then general availability, we're going to make it not bookable. So that way, only the set time that we're going to do, but we're not going to set that here. We're actually going to set that under our service. So we're going to leave these settings like these. Customize page here is like if you want to change, your color, your look of it. You may want to double check your time zone down here is set for Pacific time. Sometimes it defaults to something weird, but that's all good. All right, so once that's all done, we do need to click save at the top. If I don't click save and I click on another page, it's going to let me know. So I click save. All right, perfect. We're going to jump down to staff. You should only see yourself there as a staff member, which is what we want. Services. This is like the big one that we want to make sure that it's set for. So if you have an existing one here from before, this is where we're going to modify it, or else we are going to modify this office hours one that we defaulted. So I'm just going to click edit and go from here. All right, so first thing is we're going to title this service. So this is going to be, conference with Mr. Alcala, right? This is description. Let's discuss your students' progress. Location, I could say I'm in room blank at particular site. You can type that in there. We're going to click off add online meeting because that defaults the Teams, and we're not going to use that. Duration, again, here, we're going to make sure this matches up to however long we want conferences to be. So if I'm doing 20 minutes, I can do that. Buffer times, like if you're going to give 5 minutes in between each one, or you can give a couple minutes, it's up to you. But if you kind of build that into your block, then you should be okay. Everything else here is good. So we're going to go down to the next option here, which is availability options. And again, we're going to make sure that these time increments are in 20 minutes. So the reason it's showing a couple times is what times are available. This is how long the service is. This here is in 20-minute blocks that they can choose from. So what we're going to do next is we're going to, again, modify these as well. And then down here, this is one of the most important parts. So general availability, we want us to generally be not bookable, except for this date range. So we're going to set different availability for date range. We're going to choose parent conference week, right? So which is going to be from the 30th to the 4th, right? So those are the days that were available. Now we're going to set the times. So we're not going to do bookable when staff are free. We're going to do custom hours. And now this is where you want to set your options for when you're available for doing conferences. So maybe you want to do one in the morning, Monday morning. So we're going to click and we're going to say maybe from 7:30 to 8 you're available. You can select here, but you can also just type in times as well, right? So I'll say 7:38, and then I'm going to click the plus here to now do my afternoon time for Monday. So maybe it's from 1 to 3:30, right? And then Tuesday, let's say it's just an afternoon. So I'm going to go in and set all these right to what I want for that day. If I want a morning time, I could add that in. Otherwise, I'm just going to set my afternoon times. Right? Maybe Wednesday, I'm going to stay a little later. So I'm going to do from 1 to 4. And then Thursday, right? Again, I'll set times. And then Friday, maybe I'm going to set a little later time. Or maybe I'm going to finish early, so I'll just end at 3. All right, so I save those. So that's my availability times there set. Next, we're going to go over to under availability options. We're going to click on assign staff. Here, we're making sure that it's just us that's getting the service or the appointment. So we're going to turn off allow customers to choose, and we're going to select ourselves here. So it's check marked. Perfect. Custom field. This is what information we want to collect from the parent. So what's check marked is what's going to show. What's toggled here is what's going to be required. So if I want them to have to include their phone number, I'm going to turn that on. For customer address, I'm going to click these off because I don't want those to show. Maybe I want to collect some extra information, right? So maybe I want like what student this is for. So I want student name, right? So I'm going to add a custom field. I got a couple options here. Text question. So I'm going to say, I think I'm just going to say student name. I'll click save. And then again, I want this to be shown, and then I want it to be required, right? Maybe I want to do another like parent, guardian, or guardians attending, right? So again, I'm going to click Save Changes. And again, I'm going to click Select, so it shows. Click Required, right? And maybe now I'm going to, maybe if they need a translator. So I can do like a drop-down question, like, you know, do you require a translator? Oops. And then we can add our options. Yes. No. Click Save Changes. And again, we're going to make sure that one's shown and it's a required one. So now notifications here, we're going to keep this fine. And then we're going to click Save. Now, if I go to my booking page, link, and then I click the link here, now I'm able to see what it looks like. So conference, 20 minutes. Here's the day, September 30th. Right here are the time blocks available. You can see the blocks here that I've added are shown. If I want, I need to move to the next month to see the other days, but you can kind of see the other days that are outside the parent conference window are not available. Coming back here, now if I go down and, so that was services that we did. You could always go back and edit the service if you made a mistake with something, right? They'll always double check it looks correct. Now business information, right? This is like if you want to go back and change some of those things, like what does the title at the top of the page look like? If you want to add some info there, you can. This is where you change out your logo if you need to. Again, business hours doesn't really matter for the way that we have this set up. So that should be your booking page. If you go back to your booking page and you see, so for example, if I go back to, let's say, the 4th here, the 3rd is showing me I have a time, only one time. That's because this is actually tying into my Outlook calendar, my work one. And so this means that I do have something between those times, because I probably set it for 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock that I'm already booked and doing something. So this knows to block out those and only show the one that I'm available for. Friday, again, it's showing that I can't do any because the way that my personal calendar is. So I would have to go back and look at my calendar to see why is it blocked off. Because I'm already booked for something. And so this prevents from me being double booked on something there. But this would be, this should be all set then for your parents. Again, to get that link to the page, you go to booking page here. This is the link you would just copy. You can click the little copy link and then paste it into your like Parent Square messaging. Or if you want to send like a flyer home, you can copy and paste this into a program to make like a QR code. Or if you want to get a shortener, you can use that too. But that's how you do it. If you got any questions, just please let me know. I'd be happy to help.